Hello YouTube, hope you've all had a really good day. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Sagola 4600 Xtreme Trophy Truck Limited Edition. It's in a 1.2 XL setup and it's got the DVR Titania Pro air cap. Hi guys, so as far as this review goes then, I think the first thing that we need to address is the actual air cap itself. The Titania Pro version of the air cap has nothing to do with the old Titania version. They're completely different air caps altogether. Now, the old Titania air cap was a multi-purpose air cap designed for clears, base, gloss, that sort of thing. The Titania Pro has been designed specifically just for clear coat application. And the new air cap, the Pro version, has been designed more towards the low viscosity, fast and rapid clears that we see more and more in use these days. Now, I have to say, even though that is the case, I have used this with UHS, HS and gloss just to give it a full test, because I've had this gun now for a month, and for the past month I've done none of my gloss work and none of my top coat work with any gun bar this gun. So the DVR style of the 4600 is more towards the UHS clears and more prominently the thicker clears that we use, and the Pro version I would say is more sort of suited towards HS and the rapid clears. Now, the differences between the actual Titania Pro and the DVR, I would say the Titania Pro has a lot bigger fan and it atomizes a lot better. Now, this will atomize clear really nicely from anything from 25 psi all the way up to about 2.2 bar. And I've found that using this gun, and on this particular job we're using the Roberlo premium HS clear that they do, I've found that, say if I drop this down to 25 psi, I can get that nice chunky BMW peel. If I knock this up to around 2 bar, I can get a nice smooth peel like on this Range Rover, and if I kick this up to 2.2 I can get a real glassy finish with it. I've also found that when I'm going along a job, and you might notice this, the fan on this is quite huge, and one thing that I really did like about this gun is the transfer efficiency with this gun and this air cap is absolutely phenomenal. I found this to be a really good economical spray gun, and I have to say that compared to a lot of guns out there, the overspray from this spray gun is a lot less as well. Now, I know it might not look that way on film, obviously, because the camera is right on top of the spray gun, but the transfer efficiency on this is actually exceptionally good. Now, on this first coat, I've only got this turned out, so I'm running this at 2 bar, I'm running this with a full fan, and this is only 2 turns out on the fluid. And I mean, you can see just for one coat of HS clear just how nice this is looking so far. Now, after 2 coats and a quick 30-minute bake on this clear coat, I literally spent around 5-10 minutes in the booth just to nib out a few little bits of dirt, and if anything, the finish on this was almost a little bit too nice compared to the rest of this Range Rover. You know, it was a little bit touch and go that it might have been a little bit too flat. This, you know, for a clear gun, this really does perform exceptionally well. Now, I did mention the fact that I have used all the clears that we use through this, so I've used the Roberlo Chronox 610. I did that 2-to-1, and I just put a drop of about 10% reducer into the clear, and it atomized that and sprayed that absolutely fine with no issues whatsoever at 2 bar. It was putting out a really nice coat. It was still nice and fast like it is here with this HS. You know, there's no issues with the speed with this gun. I'd say when I first started using it, it did feel a touch slower than the DVR, but obviously the DVR in the 1.3 XL, we're using this in the 1.2 XL. Now, the 1.2 XL for this we got recommended to use because the transfer efficiency is a lot higher on this compared to the DVR. So even though the tip size technically is a little bit smaller, you know, the clear coat's getting transferred a lot better, so there is no need to go up that extra size in the tip size. And like I say, I'm only 2 turns out of the fluid. You know, if you wanted to really speed this gun up, you could just open that fluid up even more. But at 2 turns out, you know, this is not a slow gun whatsoever. It's putting down a real good wet coat of clear coat. There is no issues with the finish or anything like that. It is, you know, I've really enjoyed using this spray gun. And in the next part of the footage that we've got linked in a minute, so for the second half of the video you can see it doing some direct gloss work where we used HS direct gloss. Now I know the comment is gonna, like, probably the most asked question that I'm gonna get on this video is, do I prefer this or the DVR clear? Now as far as that goes, what I would do for yourselves is go on to Sagola's website. I will put the link in the description to this, but they have a very, very detailed application guide. So you can have a look and see what clears you use, even what paint line you use, and it will give you the best setups for what you are using. It's an extremely detailed guide, it's extremely accurate, and I have to say it must have taken a long time to put together. So between the two, obviously as far as these guns go, by the spec sheet, this gun is designed for the more thinner clears, and obviously the DVR is specifically designed for more ultra high solids clears, and the true ultra high solids clears at that. So like your Rubilo Chronox 610 and that sort of thing, you know, your real true thick ultra high solids clear coats. So if we were to compare this to the other big brand guns out there, personally I think these Sagolas have got a lot more control than the SATAs. Now that's not to take anything away from the SATAs. The SATAs are exceptionally good guns, but I find that personally when I run the SATAs fast, I don't feel like I have a lot of control over them. Now I'd say compared to a DV1, which is pretty much smack bang in the same sort of price range, and bearing in mind this is a limited edition model and the DV1 would be a standard model, the DV1 itself would come in on a non-digital at $432, and this Sagola limited edition comes in at $449. Now between those two guns, all day long I would buy this Titania Pro, by a long margin. It's an exceptionally nice spray gun. They are very, very well made. I'd say the build quality on these Sagolas matches the build quality on a SATA all day long. Also standard, they come with a 3-year Sagola warranty, and I think for the money with these Sagolas you are getting an exceptional spray gun, especially when currently at the moment when I post this video live there is still the 25% discount code going on the PMP's suppliers website, and I will link this gun and the discount code in the video description. So at the moment, for a limited edition gun of this quality, to be quite honest with you, it's an absolute steal for that price. So if this gun matches your requirements as far as the clear coats that you use and the products that you spray, then this definitely is a gun that I would recommend. Also, I mean, the limited edition design isn't anything fancy on this, but the matte gold look on this is really nice. It is a really nice looking gun, and I have really enjoyed using it as well. And like I say, I've used it for UHS and HS without any issues whatsoever. I have tried some of the rapid clears through it, and again, it performs absolutely perfectly. There's no issues with it whatsoever. I like the fact that it atomizes at such a low pressure right the way up to such a high pressure, so I can really easily change the finish and the amount of peel that I'm trying to get on one, whether I need a nice flat peel or I want a nice chunky peel, depending on obviously the manufacturer. I can just do that quite simply by just changing the air pressure on this spray gun, which is really, really nice. There's no faffing around fighting with the gun to try and get those factory finishes. And as far as the actual whole Sagola range goes, because we do pretty much almost have the whole Sagola range now in at the shop that we are testing. We've just recently been sent the 3300 GTO primer and wet on wet gun to try, which I will get a video up once I've got some more use of those. But as far as the actual whole Sagola range goes and the improvements they have made to these guns, to be quite honest, I think they are going to be some of the guns to beat on the market at the moment. They are extremely well made. I mean, I must have, I don't know, around about 7 of these Sagolas now, and we've got no issues with any of them. And they are my main daily workhorse guns now. They've been used all day, every day, and I'm absolutely loving using them as well. So anyway guys, that is it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I will see you again soon for the next video. Bye for now.